Smile. Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to this episode of the Mindful Mama Show. I'm your host, Molly Ann Luna, and this is the place to be to help inspire, educate, and empower mamas and future mamas to be, to learn how to more fully love who they are, their bodies, mind, body, spirit. And today, I'm so excited. I have my special guest and best friend, Steph Hendel. She's a weight loss mindset coach, and she's the creator of Body Built by Love. Yay! I'm so glad you're here.
I know. I've been excited to be on the show for forever, so this is a great moment.
Yeah, Steph does an amazing. First of all, we call her Chef Steph at the Luna household because whenever she comes to visit, she always makes phenomenal food for us.
Thank you.
And yeah, you're just
I
all around.
love to cook. I love it. It's my jam. It makes me feel the most me, and it's definitely how I feel like I share love with people too.
Yeah,
it's like my love through food. Mm-hmm. So that's a thing.
Yeah. So Steph, do you mind, can you share a little bit of your story and your journey and what really brought you into becoming the weight loss mindset expert that you are today?
Okay. Yeah. So it started as a fitness weight loss diet journey. And in the beginning, it just felt like, I just want to learn what I can eat to lose weight and be the weight that I want to be. Because I was at this weight, it was about 30 pounds extra. And being there, I just always would see other women my age and I'd be like, why can't I do it? Like, supposedly, the concepts of society would say, oh, if you're younger, you can lose weight faster, which, by the way, I don't believe.
Okay.
At this point in my career, in my life, I completely don't believe that. I call total BS on every idea of that. But at that point, I was like, I'm young. I'm in my 20s, my early 20s. I should easily be able to be the weight I want. But I couldn't. I was just trying everything. It wasn't working. And I was working out a lot. I've always worked out really well. I think we both have that in common. It's always been fitness has been prevalent in our lives. But food, I didn't really eat healthy. I didn't grow up eating healthy food. So I went to nutrition school. I learned what healthy food was, and weight was just easy, too easy almost, where I was like, did anybody else see that? I just lost 30 pounds and it was really fast and really simple. Because here's another mainstream thought, which is it's really hard to lose weight. And again, I call BS on that because the truth of the matter is if it's not easy for you, then you're just doing it wrong. There's a better way. And it should be simple. And when we find it being hard, that's when there's some sort of mindset that needs to get restructured, or a belief system or a feeling about the body, about weight, about food, about fitness. And it just needs to shift a little bit, and you just need to believe a new story. And then when that happens, it's like, oh yeah, okay, it is simple. So to catch you up even more on where I am now and how the mindset piece came in, I lost that weight. It was simple. It was awesome. And then there was this year where all of a sudden 30 pounds that I lost, I gained again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, gained it all back.
It's so hard. Isn't it hard? It's hard to imagine you 30 pounds.
Yeah. Most people say that. Most people are like, I don't ever think you even were overweight. But it was the style of my body. I wore it pretty well, I guess you could say. And I knew personally that I had a lot of extra weight on my body. And I felt uncomfortable. So it's everybody could say, yeah, you don't really need to lose weight. But I knew in my heart, I was I don't feel my healthiest. I know that there is a next level for me, and I'm frustrated because I can't reach it. So I was on a mission. So I gained that weight back, and it was, looking back, I had a lot of stressful things happen, a lot of emotional things happen. And as that progressed, it was sort of I just gained the weight without realizing I was even gaining it. Oh. I think a lot of women can associate with that. All of a sudden you're just oh shoot, my arms are bigger, my legs are bigger, my stomach is bigger. Whoa.
When did that happen?
When did it happen?
Yeah.
And so from there it was just oh, okay, well last time it was easy because I just learned what to eat and I ate it and the weight came off. Simple, like magic. So I'll just do that again. So I did that again, but it didn't work. And I was confused and frustrated and okay, this is really a problem now because now I'm a weight loss coach. So after I learned how to lose weight, I went to nutrition school, learned how to be a health coach, a holistic health coach, and I was teaching people how to do what I did, essentially. I learned this really easy weight loss technique. Let me show you what I'm doing. And so people were losing weight. It was great. But then all of a sudden here I am, 30 pounds, gained it back, have all these clients, and feel like a complete fraud. And I'm like, I'm telling these people how to lose weight and I gained it all back. So this is a problem. Like in my mind, I'm like, red flag, something really bad is happening. This needs to get fixed immediately. And so I'm eating the right foods. It's not working. So I'm like, okay, I'll start working out more than ever. I start to get a really unhealthy mindset about it because I'm stressed, like really stressed out, like this got to get fixed. So I start working out more than ever, like working out too much. As I'm working out too much, it's not doing anything. I'm like working out like crazy. No weight is coming off. Then I go and I start to get unhealthy about my eating because I'm so desperate at that point. You know, I tried, like not eating enough food. One time I tried to throw up and that went horribly wrong. Like it didn't work. I was like, okay, that's not for me. But I was like super desperate. You know, I got myself to that point where I was so stressed that I'm like willing to try anything and really bad stuff. So I'm like restricting myself. I'm like, you know, just eating all this food. I start binge eating. I start overeating. I start just getting really unhealthy with food where I'd like, I'd eat really well. I'd wake up in the morning, I'm going to eat really well. This will be my day. I'm going to get back on track. Today is my day. And have a healthy breakfast, have a healthy lunch. Dinner is eating cake mix out of the box. Dinner is Taco Bell plus the, you know, fries plus whatever. Like, and it's just like eating to the point where my stomach hurts. Like I'm in physical pain. I'm causing myself physical pain because I am trying to restrict myself and trying to force myself to figure out the solution. It's very stressful. So at that point, I was like, there is something else. I'm missing something. It's not about the food and it's not about the workouts because I'm doing all these things and nothing is changing. You know, my weight's not changing. So it started to get into the mindset element. I really I prayed, I sought an answer. I'm like, please, whatever it is, just let me know, like, help me, whoever, like God, universe, help me. And I start getting like invited to conferences. I start reading books. I start meeting people about the mindset, about how you perceive things and how you could change your perception on different stuff. And once that happened, I started to see what was going on. I started to look back on the first time I lost weight. Yeah, the food got healthier, but what really was healthy about it was my mindset. I was happy. I was having fun. I loved it. I was progressing every day. Every day I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like a little less weight, feeling good, pants are a little looser. The progress felt good. The mindset felt good. I was happy. I was excited. I was loving my life. So it was easy and the weight fell off. The second time it didn't come off. I was eating the healthy food.
Yeah, you're just getting to the question that I wanted to ask. Perfect. Yeah, keep going, please.
Yeah, so at that point, I'm like, okay, it's not about the food. It's about the mind. It's because I'm stressed. It's because I'm feeling forced to get the weight off. I'm feeling like if it doesn't come off, my life is over. My career is over. Everything I love is over. So it just got really unhealthy all up in here. And I trained myself from a young age how to think unhealthy thoughts. So it wasn't hard for me to go back to that space of guilt, shame, beating myself up. So
yeah,
that's where Body Built by Love was born. It was coming from a space of there are other women out here who are struggling to lose weight and they're doing everything they can. They're trying their best. They're really putting an effort in, and it's killing me that they're not seeing a result because I know that if you just change your mind, that's when you get it.
There's the missing piece. You can have the cleanest diet and the most phenomenal, efficient workouts, but if you don't master your mindset, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to know, you know, when it first happened, you said you were living, you know, in a more joyful space. It was exciting, you're fun, carefree. You lost the 30 pounds and then life started to happen and you hadn't quite yet mastered that mindset. And that's why it came back on. But today, I mean, how long has it? It's been several years since that. You've been stepping into this. I mean, does she look amazing? She looks amazing, right?
Thank
but
you.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you're able to shift that mindset so you're able to still enjoy the foods that you love, not have that guilt around it, and still be able to maintain your healthy, lean, vibrant physique that you do?
Yeah. So the coolest thing about it is that I am working out less than I ever have. The workouts I do are really fun, and I look forward to them and I enjoy them. And the food I'm eating is like quote unquote less healthy than it's ever been. Like I still love good healthy food, and I have principles of like this many meals, if my mindset wants it, are going to be really nourishing, and then if I want to have something else that's maybe not healthy, it can be. But I'm forgetting your question. I was starting to go on a tangent there.
No, that's fine. So the question was, you had adopted a mindset of taking on like eating super healthy and being super strict with your workouts, and you weren't getting the results. Now the Steph that I know, love, and adore, and is helping women like to have phenomenal success, has a better balance. Like you said, you're working out less, you're having more fun doing it, you're still indulging in your foods that some people would deem as like bad foods, which we know there's no such thing as a bad food. There's just more nutrient dense versus less nutrient dense. But I was just curious about how you were able to like shift your mindset into that space so that you're able to maintain your lean and healthy physique and find the balance between the nutrition, the exercise.
I love that question because that's essential, and sometimes people don't ask that, and that's one of the most important parts. For me, it was a lot of journaling, a lot of understanding myself and my mind, which is why I created my course called Body Built by Love. It is literally all of the exercises that I did and all the writing that I did, all the questions I asked myself to start to understand why I felt a certain way about food, why I felt a certain way about my body, and why I felt a certain way about how I talked to myself in my head. Like, the way I talk to myself in my head, or the way I used to talk to myself in my head, is I would never speak to somebody that's a friend like that, ever. But I would do it to myself. And that's where it gets weird, But I'd have all the exercises written out in the Body Built by Love course, and I'd just journal. And if you want to start on it, like now, if somebody's watching is like, I want to try that, I want to do something, just start asking yourself questions like, why do I feel guilty? Or should I feel guilty? Like, who in my life, has determined me feeling guilty about this food? Or in the Body Built by Love course, we take it back to mom and dad and their story about food and fitness and their bodies, because our parents play a pretty big role. And it's not necessarily your parents. Like, we talk about like the female role models and the male role models, and how watching them, you decided to feel a certain way about food. Like I was saying in the beginning, both of us with fitness has always been a thing that we've just done. It's pretty natural, and that was ingrained in us from a certain age, from doing certain things. And food for me was not, and I know that's for you too.
Yeah.
We both grew up eating a lot of junk.
Yeah, I grew up in the Midwest, and I live in California now, and I remember going to my first farmer's market and being like, what are all these vegetables? Like, I didn't know there was more types of lettuce than just iceberg. And I grew up on canned green beans and canned peaches. I didn't know what a whole peach looked like.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And that's not a hit on my family, because my family only taught me what they knew, or what was available to them in the part of the world that we grew up in. But it's quite eye-opening when you do start diving into nutrition and understanding how it fuels your body, and then what you're thinking around it, which is most important.
Oh yeah. And a lot of times, like, a lot of it's TV too. That's why I don't just say mom and dad, because like TV is, we grew up with TV.
Yes.
And it influenced us a lot, watching these characters every day and how they talk about food and workouts and stuff. And so if I feel like, or magazines, if I feel like, oh, I'm supposed to feel bad about my body if it looks this way, then I'm going to start to feel bad about it, unless I tell myself something else. Unless I start telling myself, beautiful is what I see in the mirror every single day. Beautiful is my unique body. Beautiful is your unique body. Beautiful is your unique body.
Yes.
Because it's the guilt that keeps us from a healthy body. And the guilt itself, it's debilitating. And the biggest reason I teach feeling good and having good feeling thoughts about stuff is because when you feel good, you want to make a healthy choice and you want to do the workout. Because anybody can Google a diet, anybody can Google a workout, but there's that piece where you actually do it or don't do it, or you don't go to the gym. And that happens, that motivation or the inspiration to go to the gym or to eat that healthy meal, that comes from how you feel. We've all had a time when we've been at a restaurant and the whole menu is in front of us. We got healthy choices, we've got unhealthy choices, and we're looking at it, and depending on how you feel, if you feel really insecure with the person that you're eating with, if you feel really beat down by something that happened today, you're probably going to be like, I want the unhealthy thing. But if you feel great, if you feel empowered, if you feel like Molly and I feel when we hang out, like you feel like, yes, give me some nourishment. I want to keep this going. I want to like just feel as good as I possibly can and make the best choices. So it's fueling yourself for what makes you feel good.
Yeah. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, so correct me if this is not exactly accurate. But what I took away from what you just shared was that the first step for you to shift that mindset of feeling the guilt and feeling the shame around the food and just piling on the pounds kind of unconsciously a little bit was that first just stepping into awareness and asking yourself the questions like, where did I adopt these ideas about what it means to be beautiful or what it means to be healthy or good? And so to me, it sounds like that's what you first did, was try to separate the voice in your head saying, oh, I actually learned this from watching, all of a sudden I'm thinking of Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, that's about
I was thinking of Saved by the Bell.
I was like, yes.
90s kid. So, you know, like watching television or, you know, hearing our aunts or our parents or somebody saying this or that about food. Like, I remember, I think it was like my dad would say something about eating the potato skin would put hair on your chest or something like that. It's just like such a silly thing, but like it's an idea that comes into your mind, and if you wanted to believe that was true, it becomes a part of your paradigm or your mindset or what you think and feel about it. So if it's not serving you, then understand, where did you pick those little nuggets of thought up, and then let yourself release them. Yeah.
Create a new story.
Yeah.
Tell yourself a new story. You saying that made me think of like, I think I watched Rugrats, and it talked about
Rugrats.
Yeah. And he talked about how when he ate a watermelon seed, it like grew in his stomach.
Okay.
And I stopped eating watermelon seeds after that. I remember I was like, I don't know. Like, it's probably not true, but I'm still just not going to eat watermelon seeds. But it's like the littlest things like that can determine like how you feel about something. And all you need to do is create a new story, like all of a sudden tell yourself, no, you don't grow a watermelon in your belly when you eat watermelon seeds. These are facts, and I can eat as many watermelon seeds as I want and feel really good. So that's like a very like little kid version of a new story. Yeah.
I'm all of a sudden I'm like wanting to dive deep into the sciences, but for the sake of not boring people, but I won't. But I mean, just real quickly, the truth of it is like we're all energy. The food is energy, and when you really, this is going to get weird. Just hang with me for a second. But
I feel like it's going to get good. It's going to get good.
When you really think about your digestive system, so my background is biology, and when you really think about your digestive system from your mouth all the way through, you think about it as putting it inside of your body, and then it's being inside of your body, like stuck inside of the watermelon seed stuck inside of your body, right? But it's not. It's actually on the outside of your body. We just perceive it as being on the inside. Ooh. And we get to pick and choose if that energy is going to like become a piece of us. Like I was having ice cream the other night, and you're like, you get to choose. You get to choose how this ice cream affects you. And I was like, I'm just going to choose that it affects my mouth, and it feels really yums in my tongue. And then I'm just going to let it move on through. Like that's what I'm going to choose.
Yes.
And I know that sounds probably sounds weird to some people watching.
Yeah, it's probably a new concept. If you're just hearing this, you might go, wait, I don't know about that. But I mean, you can literally trust it from like myself, Molly. Like we've been doing this stuff for years, like just changing how we feel about something and seeing how it affects our lives. And for me personally, like I could tell you that the last 3 years of my life I've done this, and it allows me to eat what I want and not have weight gain. Like I would have thought that the food I eat now would make me way more than 30 pounds overweight, but it doesn't. And that comes from You said biology. I feel like you would love this book. It's called The Biology of Belief.
Okay.
It's by a guy named Bruce Lipton, and he is a biologist, and he talks about how our cells are creating our whole... Still here. Our cells are creating our whole body, and our cells pick up on the thoughts that we have. If your cells create your body, and your cells listen to the thoughts that you're thinking, if you are saying to yourself, if you're eating a piece of ice cream, if we're eating ice cream and we're saying, it's going right to my hips, then your cells go, oh, send it right to her hips. And then the fat goes right to your hips. Like, the words that you say, again, we could go down a really long rabbit hole with this.
Yes.
But the words that you say literally create your life, your body, and your everything. And so the words you say about food are extremely important. Every time I eat something, whether healthy or non-healthy, I look at it and I bless it and I go like, thank you, please nourish my body, please metabolize really quickly and assimilate really well and create a healthier me. And the cells of your body pick up on those thoughts. So it's really important, more so than where I used to eat something like some ice cream, and I would be like, oh my god, now I'm gonna have to work out like extra hard tomorrow at the gym. Oh, I shouldn't have eaten that. It's gonna make me fat. Ice cream makes you fat. That's an old story. We don't live those stories anymore. And because it doesn't feel good. 2, because it's not fun. 3, because it's not necessary.
Yeah.
So the old story of, oh my gosh, like, shoot, this isn't good for me, is gone. It is out the window. It doesn't serve you.
I think also in our culture, or the time frame that we're living in now, there is some weird underlying tone of there's value in being fit and skinny. But there was a time period in our lives where like fat and voluptuous, I would say fat voluptuous, but just a more robust body was more valued. Oh yeah. And so I guess for me, it's like, it doesn't matter what it is you look like or feel like, or I mean, it does matter what you feel like. Yeah. But yeah, skinny doesn't equal better. Right. What we want to get to is health, and we want to get to a healthy mindset. Yes. I think I agree. The utmost important thing.
I totally agree. And it's that feeling of how you feel, like it in the courses that I do, in the lifestyle that I create for myself, like you'll never see like weigh yourself, you'll never see count calories, you'll never see like the counting mentality, because to me that's not joy. It's not fun. It's not flowing and just like being who you are and living life. It's like, did you wake up in the morning and go, oh my gosh, yay, I love being me, and I love who I am, and I love how I look. Because that is the meter of, I don't know, I did time out. That's the meter. That's the meter of, are you healthy or not? Because health is no longer about skinny. Health is now about feeling really good and being good to yourself. I truly believe that when I see a real skinny person that's super fit, if they are beating themselves up in their head, that is not healthy to me. I do not count them as a healthy person. Yeah. But they can be super skinny and super fit and have a healthy mindset and be very healthy.
Yeah. And I can speak from experience, because there has been a time in my life where I did, before baby, like trained really, really hard, and I was counting my calories, counting my macros, weighing my food. And yes, my physique looked great. And actually at the time I felt like, my mindset was great too. But what I now know, especially after giving birth, is just to be more gentle and to more kind, and it really just comes down to your mindset. Cause Javon's like, I think your body type right now looks very similar to the day that we got married. And the day that we got married, I was running. Like I was a running. And I did it a lot for stress relief, but I also was stuck in that negative mind loop of like, I have to work off those Pop-Tarts that I ate, But now that's not my mindset at all. I do work out, but it is more gentle approach. It's more fun. And I indulge in the foods that I love.
Yes. You're enjoying life.
I'm enjoying life. And my physique looks great. Yeah. So it can be done. Yeah. And that's what I know you want to help women get to, is that space of love, first and foremost.
Yeah. And especially too, because we're specifically talking to a lot of moms here. It's like, moms have a lot of the same limiting beliefs that you need to tell a new story around, of like, oh, well, I just had a baby, so like, I need to like be overweight, or I need to like this, or I need to like feel not good, or all that stuff. You literally get to create whatever you want. You get to tell yourself the story of how you feel, how you look, how you act. Just because you had a baby does not mean that it's you like not having to feel your best, be your best. Because it should be a time when you feel your most amazing. Because it's like, it's the essential pinnacle of womanhood, of being who you are, of standing in your feminine, of creating another life. Like, that is the best. That's the best.
I know.
Yeah. It's like, it's glowing, it's like shining, it's like mama love. It's good stuff.
And it's such a so much more beautiful experience when you have that mindset and alignment. And of course, as a mama, to a daughter, that's what I want to be teaching her as well, is like, I want to stand in my power and my full love. I have since, here on my show, we're always talking about mastering your mindset. And in my private group, Legacy Leaders Community, which is a free group you can join if you want. But that's what it's about, is coming together to be the best versions of ourselves, so that then we can ultimately be the best parents and the best grandparents for all of our future generations to come, because we're our first teachers to our kiddos.
Yep.
And if we can learn to love ourselves, and from a space of not just love our bodies, but just love our minds and love who we are, then all that goodness gets to continue to flow.
Oh, yeah.
And gets to flow to them. And I'm just going to go on and on, because I'm so passionate about it.
It's good. It's so important. And having that mindset, like you mentioned, it's like when you have a healthy mind, you naturally can love on your body. And so the body piece really comes second. Like, a lot of this like stuff that we have in our society and in our heads and in our minds, it's coming from not loving up here first. As soon as this feels good, as soon as you feel like I'm a great person, I'm a worthy person, I would have had a really hard time saying something like that about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I would have had a really hard time saying, I'm awesome, I am really fun to be around, I'm a great person, I add a lot of value to this world.
Yeah.
I would have had a hard time saying that. But when you can say that stuff and know it and believe it in your heart, because everybody deserves to know that and believe it and feel it, because everybody's a gift.
Yeah.
When you get to that space, it's really easy to say, and I love my body. I love how things look. I'm grateful for all this.
You know what I was just thinking? Because I think you've said it. You're like, Hannah and her little baby body. Like, my daughter is almost 10 months old, and she is so beautiful. And it's the soul that's within her that's radiating. And her body is literally changing every single day. So I can't say, oh, today you're beautiful, but tomorrow you're not, or yesterday you weren't.
That's a great example.
She's going to be an 8-year-old body, and an 18-year-old body, and a 28-year-old body, and a 58-year-old body. And she's still going to be beautiful, because we actually are not our bodies. Not
at all.
It is a reflection of things that are, going on, I guess, in our minds, that we can go down that whole rabbit hole too. But just saying, the time that I was really in my negative mental loop about my body image and my negative self-talk, mid to early 20s, because I thought, well, this is my adult body, and I had a different idea of what a woman's body should look like based off of things that I picked up from media or magazines or culture. And it's so much better. It's so much more exciting to be on this side of it, and to be like, no. This is what a 30-year-old Molly and Luna body looks like.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love it.
That's what it's all about. It's getting to that space. I love that you put it that way. Like, her body is always changing. Like, one paradigm shift that I'm constantly using and reminding my clients and even myself is that, like, this body is not about the body. This is the vehicle I was given to experience the world.
Yeah.
This is the vehicle I was given to fulfill my purpose. So for me to hate this is like a big slap in the face to the world. It's like, whatever I was given and how I was given it is like, all I should be saying is thank you. Thank you. This thing that I've got here, it allows me to walk to the places I want to go. It has allowed me to see amazing parts of this world. This voice has allowed me, and like voice, mouth, throat, area over here. This has all allowed me to share something I've learned with other people. These hands have allowed me to grab a steering wheel or cook food or like all these things that give me value. Like this whole, like, this is the Molly vehicle. And like this has allowed you to live your purpose and
like
create
hold
something
my
like
baby
this.
with my arms,
Hold your
or to
baby.
hug my loved ones, or yeah.
And when we start focusing on that more than, oh my God, like, ew, I can't stand my thighs. Oh my God, I can't, like, believe my arms are so jiggly.
Yeah.
Like, when we focus on how great we have it, then we stop thinking